Long ago, in the earliest days of the world, humans shivered in the cold. The nights were endless and dark, and the days were pale and gray. Fire did exist, but only in the realm of the sky spirits, high above the clouds in their hidden mountain palaces. Humans had no warmth, no light, and no way to cook their food. They huddled together in caves, wrapped in animal skins, wishing desperately for heat. But no one dared approach the sky spirits. Those who tried returned empty-handed, or not at all. Among the creatures of the earth lived a serpent, long and slender, with scales that shimmered like molten silver. Clever and cunning, the serpent watched humans suffer night after night. "I cannot stand by and watch them freeze any longer," whispered the serpent to herself. "If the sky spirits will not share fire, I will take it for them." The other animals trembled at the idea. "You cannot reach the sky spirits," said the eagle. "They guard their fire with thunder and lightning." "You will be burned," warned the tortoise. "The winds will crush you," cried the monkey. But the serpent only flicked her tongue. "I have speed, I have stealth, and I have cunning. Watch me." On the night of a new moon, when darkness was thick and shadows hid all creatures, the serpent began her journey. She coiled herself tightly, gliding silently over the ground, then climbing the tallest mountain in the land. She slithered past jagged rocks, across icy ledges, and into the swirling clouds. The higher she climbed, the thinner the air, and the colder the wind. But the serpent pressed on, undeterred. At last she reached the palace of the sky spirits, a place glowing with golden flame and shimmering like the sun itself. The fire danced in great pillars, sending sparks into the sky. The sky spirits noticed her, and a voice boomed, "Who dares approach our fire?" The serpent hissed softly and slithered closer. "I come for the humans. They suffer in cold and darkness. They need your fire." The sky spirits laughed, a sound like rolling thunder. "Fire is not for mortals. Return or be destroyed." The serpent smiled a cunning smile. She twisted, coiled, and darted through the sparks, faster than the eye could follow. With a sudden flick of her tail, she bit a glowing ember and clutched it tightly in her fangs. With the ember glowing bright between her teeth, the serpent darted downward, spiraling through clouds and wind. Sparks fell behind her like falling stars, and the sky spirits roared in fury. The journey was perilous. Her scales sizzled, her body grew hot, but she did not release the ember. She pressed on, past lightning strikes and gale-force winds, until finally she reached the earth. She carefully placed the ember in a hollow of rock. From that single spark, fire spread. Humans gathered around, their faces lighting with warmth. Flames flickered in homes and caves. Smoke curled into the sky, and the nights were no longer dark. The serpent, was not unscathed. Her scales were scorched, turning black along her back. She slithered into the cool shadows of the earth to rest, hiding from the sun. From that day forward, humans had fire, and serpents, with their dark, mysterious scales, were remembered as the creatures who stole fire for the world. When you see a snake today, some say it is resting after its daring deed, still keeping a spark of fire in its heart. Long before mountains rose, and before trees learned how to grow, there was only water, endless, silent, and deep. The sky floated above it like a great bowl, and beneath it nothing existed but dark, rolling waves. In those days, the animals had no home. They swam, drifted, and clung to one another, growing tired and afraid. The otter paddled endlessly, the beaver searched for logs that did not exist, and the bird circled the sky until its wings ached. Every creature complained, each speaking louder than the last. "We need land," cried the deer. "We need trees," shouted the monkey. "We need a place to rest," groaned the bear. But no one knew how to create such a thing. Among them was the turtle. The turtle was old, even then. His shell was worn smooth by time, and his eyes were deep with patience. While others argued, Turtle listened. He did not speak, for he knew that wisdom often moves quietly. At last, Turtle broke the silence. "Below us," he said, softly, "there is earth." The animals laughed. "There is nothing beneath this water," mocked the fish. "No one can reach the bottom," said the seal. "The darkness would swallow you," warned the bird. But Turtle only nodded. "I will try." Without waiting for praise or permission, Turtle drew a deep breath and slipped beneath the surface. Down he swam, past the place where light could reach, past the cold currents, past the fears that turn others back. The pressure of the deep pressed against his shell. His lungs burned, his legs grew heavy. Still he continued. At the very bottom of the world, Turtle touched something solid. With his final strength, he scraped a small clump of dark, sacred mud and tucked it beneath his shell. Then he rose, slowly, steadily, until at last he broke the surface of the water. The animals stared in silence. Turtle placed the mud upon his back. At first, it was no larger than a leaf. But then something miraculous happened. The mud began to grow. It spread gently across Turtle's shell, widening and thickening. Dry ground formed, firm and warm. The animals climbed onto it in wonder. As they watched, the land expanded outward, stretching beyond Turtle, forming hills, plains, and valleys. The beaver built rivers. The bird planted seeds that became forests. The deer shaped paths with his hooves. The world was born. When the land could grow no more, Turtle lowered himself beneath it, allowing the earth to rest upon his strong back. He did not complain. He did not boast. And that is why in the oldest traditions people say, "The world rests on the back of a turtle." And because of him, land exists. To this day, Turtle moves slowly, not from weakness, but from the weight of responsibility he once carried for all living things.